So what was was there a genuine business deal?
It's a genuine business, yeah.
So tell us about this genuine business deal. What was the deal?
Like I said, they do the management part. They manage the clinics.
Yeah.
And then, meaning I have to pay them for the management fee.
So was that the same arrangement that would have applied to the Medicare 24 Tshwane district tender award?
Yes.
You applied?
Yes.
And you applied in your own name?
Yes.
This entity?
Yes.
Was that a, now they had a holding company, isn't it?
Yes.
On Vacant Venter.
Yes.
And the Tshwane district entity, was that your own?
Yes, yes.
Is that like a franchise?
Yes.
And did you pay for it, or did they give it to you?
No, they didn't give it to me. I pay every contract that I secure, and then that's how I pay. There's the percentage that you pay for each and every contract.
How much did you pay?
I think for the last contract, the thing is, regarding this SAPS contract, I do not want to get deeper into that thing because there's an ongoing investigation about that. So I'll prefer not to talk further about the contract of SAPS because I don't want to compromise the investigations or even incriminate myself.
But can you confirm that you paid them for your franchise?
Yes, I can confirm that.
And when you,
it's in the bank statements as well, which the police have.
4 of your statement. 12.
Okay.
Have you got it?
Yes.
Where you say, despite having a lease over the property, I could not access it.
Yes.
This is because SAPS members were still utilizing the hospital. We addressed a letter to the National Commissioner of South African Police Services through our then attorneys, and in paragraph 5 of the letter dated 19 January 2024, we stated as follows: through investigations, we established that the hospital was being used by members of the SAPS who has an irregular relationship of a corrupt nature with members of the police who are making sure that our client does not acquire occupation of the property. This particular facility had nothing to do with the tender awarded to Medicare 24 Tshwane. So just on that, so this letter, you say you use the word we addressed the letter. Who would that have been?
I'm saying we as a company.
As the company?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So which entity?
Medicare 24 Tshwane.
Medicare 24 Tshwane, okay.
Yes.
And and then you say that through your investigations we established. What investigations are you referring to? Who did these investigations? And what was uncovered?
Okay, we uncovered that there is police officials who, firstly when we went there, we found some police officials and we went back to Public Works. And for the second time, when we tried to go there again to check whether they're still there, we found that there's doctors who are operating there, and then they do not have a lease with Public Works. So Public Works gave them a notice to vacate the premises, and then that's when I just learned that these doctors might be working with the police officials, senior police officials, to occupy that facility. So that's when I asked if this thing can be investigated, because I was not 100% sure of my assumptions, hence I wanted it to be investigated.
And who did you get to do the investigations?
I went to the head of National Detectives, General Sibia,
to conduct the investigations?
not to conduct the investigations, to check these allegations that I had just heard that there is police officials who are operating with the doctors there.
Yeah, I want to get to General Sabia, but I'm still on paragraph 12 and the contents of the letter that your erstwhile attorneys wrote, where they say that through investigations, we established that the hospital was being used by members of SAPS who has an irregular relationship of a corrupt nature with members of the police. So which investigations or investigator are you talking about?
Not, when we said investigations, we're not meaning that we've appointed private investigators. I'm saying from what we heard, referring to investigations.
List of these problems that you described, there was a raid on your house. Can you tell us the first raid when that was on the 6th of December?
Yes, that's correct.
That is the same day on which Molefi's property was also raided, is it?
Yes, yeah, that's when I learned after, yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known on the 6th, but you know now that
Yes.
it happened either simultaneously or the same time. We don't know. But that was on the 6th. Describe to us what happened and where this took place. Was that your home address?
Number 12, Plow Street, Waterkloof Ridge.
That's your Waterkloof
Yes.
Ridge
Yes.
address. Yeah. Yeah. So just describe to us what happened. What did you experience?
Okay, I think it was around between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. So I was in the main bedroom with my wife, and then we just heard a kid screaming in the house. So I wanted to go to check what is happening, and I saw some guys wearing balaclavas, holding assault rifles, approaching towards the main bedroom where I was with my wife. And then when they got into the house, they said, inside the main bedroom, they said we must lie down. Myself, I must lie down on the floor. And while I was lying down, I saw also the kids, they made the kids also to lie down and push their hands behind their head. And then they started asking me questions that how many people are in the house, and I explained people who are in the house, and they asked me if they found someone beside the people that I just mentioned. I said no, it's only these people that I know. And then some of them, they were busy searching, I assume, and then they came back and then they said okay. They took my cell phones, and then they took my cell phones, and then they start asking me questions. They're saying to me, where is Jerry? I said, I don't know also, I just heard that he's been kidnapped. And then they said also...
Did they tell you that was the reason why they were there? They were searching or looking for Jerry?
Yes, they mentioned Jerry, yes. And then after that, they start asking me about police. Who do I know in the police force? And I said to them, I know quite a lot of police because I've got a contract with these people. So I've got most of their contact details because we had to call them to arrange to do medical assessment. And then they said, do you specifically know General Sibia? And then I said, yes, I know him because I met him. And then they said, no, besides what you're telling us, have you met him in your personal capacity? And I said, no, I don't know him in that way. And they also asked me if I know General Khan and Minister Mkhunu. And then actually they took very, very long asking me about these police officials. And then after a while, it was very late, I think. They said, okay, we're taking, at the gate, there is guards there, 2 guards at the gate. So they took their weapons. It's a handgun and 2 handguns and 2 rifles. And they also took my personal firearm, and they took my watches, my cell phones, and then they said, okay, they're going to confiscate my weapons, and they'll also come to my office to confiscate the weapons from my office. I said, what was the reason for that? They're saying the safe that you have is not mounted. So that is the reason that we're taking these firearms.
Sorry?
The second raid was at my office.
Yes, the second one is at the office around about the 18th of December. And you say again, the police, they wore paramilitary clothing and balaclavas. They stated they wanted to inspect the firearms belonging to the security company. And after you complied, they confiscated all your firearms. Did they tell you why they were confiscating your firearms?
While they were busy doing the inspections of the firearms, they asked the person who was in charge of the armory, and then they asked him, where is the spare key of the safe? And then he said he has 1 set of keys, and then the other set of key is with his boss, referring me. And then they're saying, according to the law, me as the owner of the company, I'm not supposed to have a spare key of my safe. So I'm supposed to return the key. And by then, I was not at the office, I was in the meeting. So they called me and they said I must bring the spare key of the safe. Then I sent my driver to go and give them the spare keys. So while, okay, he gave them the spare keys, and then I think they took all the firearms, they left, and then the same night, they came back to the house, but I was not at home. So they wanted to arrest me for having a spare key of the safe. So, but when they were busy at home, I was actually on my way home, but they got to the home before me. So I just saw a lot of people wearing this paramilitary clothing inside, because the house, you can see people, even you are from the gate, you can see people from far. So I saw these people wearing like soldiers or something. And then I told the driver to drive back. And then my wife called me, said, the police are here. I said, no, I'm not coming. I'm going back to the office of the lawyers. I'm going to tell them they are back. So when they were there with my wife, they harassed her. She even now, she still has bruises. They thought maybe she was hiding me in the house. And then what worried me more is that they're saying they're looking for a spare key of the safe. They want to arrest me for a spare key of the safe. But I did not think that someone who has a spare key of his own safe, they will call special task force for him. So I thought there is more to this than what meets the eye. Yeah. So I think the following day, I'm not sure, there's a guy from KZN who called me, because the following day, that raid was on the media. So there's a guy from KZN who saw that thing on the media, and he called me. He said, I see your problems here. There's a guy in KZN who can help you with your problems. But he said, I must drive to KZN. Then that's what.
So when do you meet him and where do you meet him?
I met him on the 23rd of December. It was in Durban at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Okay. Is that the first time you meet him?
Mr. Bheki Cele?
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't know him before then, other than being previous Minister of Police?
No, I just knew him as being the previous police minister.
Yeah. Okay. And did he give you any indication that he knew about you and what you do and your business interests? This is Minister Cele.
You mean while we were speaking?
Yeah. Did he say, oh no, I know you, I read about you, I heard about you?
Yeah, actually, he knew about my problem and when I was explaining it to him. But he didn't, I think he didn't know the face maybe, but the name and what was happening, he knew about it.
Okay. So when you met him, was it your impression or clear impression that he knew about these raids on your property?
No, he told me when I was explaining him my problem. He was aware of it.
He was aware of it, okay. And then you say at paragraph 37 in the last line that Minister Cele then requested you to withdraw the court proceedings. And you describe it here as a gesture of goodwill, and he assured you that he would assist.
Yes.
You confirm that, what he said?
Yes, he said to me, before he will talk to his people to stop harassing me, I must withdraw this court interdict. And then it was the night before the matter was supposed to sit in court. And then I called my then lawyer. I gave him those instructions that he must just cancel everything. And then I've canceled everything. And then he took a phone in front of me. And then he said to me that he's calling Lieutenant General Kumalo. And then he called him while I was with him. And then he told him that, listen, this guy, he just got between a Zulu war, but he's not a threat to us in any way whatsoever. But obviously, I couldn't hear on the other end what Mr. Kumalo was saying to him. But after the call, he said to me, it's okay, when you go back to Pretoria, you can go to the police station and fetch your firearms. And indeed, when I went back to Pretoria, I went to the police station and they gave back my firearms.
100,000 don't pay. Did you ever pay for that January 8?
Yes, I did.
How much?
I'll say between 150 and 200. I'm not quite sure about it.
Did you pay the money to the account given by Mkhots?
Yes, there's also proof of payment for that.
Okay. Ngoni, is there anybody who wants to speak to this matter? Okay. Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Skosana, Honorable Sangoni, Honorable Nwango.
Yeah, so when you paid this 150,000, was it upon request from Mr. Brown Mukhozi? I mean,
Yeah.
so he requested.
Yes, but I didn't pay 150 once. It was accommodation, flights.
So did he what he wanted the money for? Did he say that, can you give us this assistance for this activity?
Yes, he said that.
He said for January 8.
Yes.
Did he mention who was also to benefit from that amount?
Yes, he said the minister.
So he was asking the money on behalf of the minister. That is how he requested for it.
According to him, yes.
According to him.
Yes.
Him and the minister, or the minister only?
Say that again?
Him and the minister, according to his request, was it for him and the minister or for the minister only?
No, it was, from what I understand, the minister sent him to go and ask for donations there and there.
Okay.
And then I was one of them.
Okay.
And then he asked me that money so I can donate for them for this January 8th thing of theirs. So I don't know who was going to benefit there.
So you just send the money, you don't know how it was spent and on what? You don't know. You just sent it.
Okay, the flight, I paid them directly. I knew this is where the flights, because he sent me the ID numbers.
Okay.
So I have them on my WhatsApp chats
So which ID numbers did he send? For who?
for different people.
For different
I
people.
think maybe 10 or I don't remember how many people.
The ID number also has, I assume, when you book for a person, you use an ID number and full names.
He sent me copies of IDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was an ID of the minister part of those copies?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
General Cele said you called him, you met him, told him Mokhodzi told you that Mkhunu wants to be a president, and therefore they need you to finance the campaign of Mkhunu. And they told you not to work with Cele and make sure you close Cele out and Zuma out. Don't tell them these issues. And from there, you need to keep on giving him information, because when we asked him, why do you keep Matlala close to you? He said, no, I kept him close because he was bringing information from Mkhunu to my side. So I can't let him go because he's giving me information. He said that under oath. And now you are saying he's the one who came with the information, the opposite of what he told us. So effectively, I'm asking you, Mr. Matlala, did former Minister Cele lie under oath about those issues in relation to your name?
Yes, he lied under oath.
Thank you.
If he was asking, he was seeking information, why would he even ask me to ask my protectors to take him and his wife to a wedding somewhere in Lanseria? So that there was no way from me sending my protectors to drive him to a wedding. There was no way he will get information from those guys. He don't know them. If he wanted information, he was supposed to all the time make sure that I'm with him so that he can suck information from me. But it was for his own benefit. I even gave him even money. If you are here to suck information, that money, declare it somewhere that, okay, this guy gave me this money. And then, but since we know that for him, we want information, I had to ask money from him. I don't think he even declared that money. I gave him money twice.
Yeah.
How much did you give him, the first one and the second one?
I gave him 300,000, and then on the second occasion, I gave him 200,000.
Okay. Honorable members, no, I want us.
So can you just elaborate on this? And did you meet, and what was the purpose of the meeting, and what happened at the meeting?
Okay. I'll go back a little bit so that we can understand how did I get to end up meeting Mr. Mkhwanazi. When I was with Mr. Cele, and then because he kept on asking me for money, and then I told him that, listen, SAPS is not paying me in time, and then also I don't even get enough purchase orders, so I'm not making a lot of money, though the contract is there, but I'm not making that money that you guys assume that I'm making. And then I told him that the person who's in charge of this contract, I think I'll say the custodian of this contract, is Lieutenant General Nkuwa. And then he said, yes, I know about your problem, but I think the best person that you need to talk to is General Mkhwanazi, because he's more closer than General Nkuwa than I am. So that's when then he arranged that meeting.